Thank you very much for the introduction, and thank you very much for inviting me here at this wonderful conference to have the chance to brief you on the CCS storage in Romania. I assume that most of you are not familiar with the Romanian context and developments in this area. So my presentation will be kind of a general nature. I will say a few words about our organization, the National Regulatory Authority for Mining, Petroleum and Geological Storage, the context and the role of CCS in Romania, the legal and regulatory frameworks, the NZIA obligations for the petroleum companies, as we are a very old producer of oil and gas as a country, and how the CCS potential can be turned into valuable operational capacity. What are the necessary measures? The National Regulatory Authority for Mining, Petroleum and Geological Storage of Carbon Dioxide was established 2 years ago through the reorganization of the former National Agency for Mineral Resources. It is directly subordinated to the Chancellery of the Prime Minister. We are not a ministry where we have regulatory and technical functions. Our authority is a competent authority for various areas: petroleum, mining, natural mineral waters, and also geological storage of carbon dioxide. It is a competent authority in the sense of our legislation, and has various responsibilities under the European legal framework. It was reorganized, and as now stronger emphasis is put on critical raw minerals and decarbonization, and so we become an important institution, hope so. CCS is viewed in Romania as a strategic technology in achieving climate neutrality by 2050, because the Romanian scenario chosen by the long-term strategy is to become climate neutral by 2050, and this of course implies the use of CCS technologies. There are measures identified in the currently revised National Energy and Climate Change Plan. It is very important, and the industries, hard to abate industries, are very, very interested in using these technologies, especially for cement industry. We are, as a country, credited with significant storage capacity, but we do not have until now operational storage sites. Of course, no storage market. There are data from oil and gas companies, which are natural partners for CCS development in Romania. The challenge is to turn the theoretical storage potential into technical operational facilities. For this, various measures at different levels are necessary to be combined. Policy measure, legal and regulatory, so to supplement the existing legal and regulation framework with secondary legislation. It is important to cooperate among various actors, government, industry, research institute, universities, and all. Here we have a slide showing the evolution of the legal and regulatory framework in Romania. I will point to the year 2011, when the CCS directive was fully transposed into the Romanian legal framework. Another important milestone was the year 2013, when in the National Agency for Mineral Resources it was established geological storage unit for the first time, which developed procedures for granting exploration permits and storage permits, which were approved in 2015 and 2017. Coordination at the national level was achieved by the establishment of interinstitutional committee for climate change, under which various working groups are established, one of them being the CCUS working group in the year 2023. The first product of this group was to provide some amendments to the legal framework to enable transition from petroleum operations to permanent geological CO2 storage. As I said before, in 2024, the regulatory authority was established, and now we are in a phase where we develop secondary regulation and technical instructions. We identified around 20 legal acts where some secondary, where some amendments are needed, also in the environmental side. I will not insist on the NZIA because the day before it was covered sufficiently. What I want to emphasize is that the Romanian oil and gas companies actually are ranked the second by obligation, in terms of obligation, with 10.25 million tons per annum. And this is about 20.5% of the entire target at the EU level, which is 50 million tons per annum. We have 3 obligated entities: OMV Petrom with 5.8, Romgaz 5.2, and towards the end of the list, Black Sea Oil and Gas with 0.25. Okay. Here there is a map with the areas where storage sites could be permitted. Actually, it overlaps the geological units where oil and gas production took place. This is a map which is public. It is on our website, and there are also geological information on each unit on our website. In Romania, geological CO2 storage is permitted, both onshore and offshore from the beginning. And here we have a map with the oil and gas areas, blocks in Romania, both exploration and oil and gas fields. We have around 400 oil and gas fields, out of which about 100 are nearly depletion. Together with the oil and gas industry, the Oil and Gas Federation, we develop a kind of screening in order to define suitable candidates for CO2 geological storage. You can see there are some criteria. The depth should be below 800 meters. The number of wells and the abandonment status are critical in this analysis. Also, the cumulative production, the size should be as big as possible, and the production period. The result of the initial phase, because this exercise is continuing. Here we can see nine fields, oil and gas, depleted oil and gas fields, owned by 3 companies in Romania. They are located onshore. I mentioned that the number of wells, legacy wells, was an important criteria. Here you have a slide showing the evolution of drilling wells per year. It starts mid-19th centuries in 1857. You can see that a small number of wells was drilled per year, but over 50 years, then before the First and Second World War, the drilling increased, and the largest number of wells were drilled after the Second World War until 1989, when the communist regime fell down. Then it was an abrupt decrease in the number of wells drilled. And in the latest years, also a significant amount of wells were drilled. This poses some challenges because these wells need assessment. They are spread over areas with various geological conditions and drilled under various standards over time and abandoned as well. The wells abandoned after, let's say, 2011, when some strict regulations were issued by our authority, are compliant. But of course, all the wells should be investigated. Well, as final remarks, In terms of policy, we have the revised National Plan for Energy and Climate Change when there are measures for CCS. All these measures have to be implemented. We now are in a process of developing further secondary legislation and technical regulations, including for developing infrastructure like transport. This is done a working group coordinated by the Petroleum University. Actually, we believe that the key to advance is cooperation and coordination in the working groups. We improve cooperation with industry, academic universities. Our authority signed cooperation protocols with various universities. There is an increased interest from their part in these technologies. Also, we look at developing our institutional capacity, both in terms of people, training, but also the data. We now have a project to make archive at the national level with historical data. It started this project, and also with some funds under the resilience and restructuring funds to develop a kind of database for transparency and for the public. And also we are looking to develop further database linked with GIS capacities. In terms of projects, there is one project that received financing from the Innovation Fund, sorry, last year. Another one received a step seal. Of course, financing is needed. It is a critical enabler for CCS development. We hope that under the new EU initiatives, more funding will be directed to our part of Europe, to have the chance to keep up with other projects. In terms of developing the geological potential, we now analyze documentation for two areas, and we hope to issue a call in 3-4 months for exploration, for an exploration permit. Thank you.